Hello everyone, thanks for taking a look at this video. I'm going to try to keep it short. I want to explain how kids can use this whole part mat to solve both addition and subtraction problems. So we're going to start with a simple one, 3 plus 4. When kids are adding, they learn that you have to add two smaller parts and put them together to equal the whole. So they would start by putting 3 on one side and 4 on the other. I know it does not matter what side they go on. And then they know that in order to add 3 plus 4, you have to put it together because we're combining it. And then they might recognize this as a math fact, 4 plus 3 is 7. They might also see 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 more is 7. So then they would answer 7 on their problem. Now taking a look at a much harder problem for kids, and that is doing a subtraction problem where part of the problem is missing. It's important for kids to really understand what addition is and what subtraction is, and that when you're doing subtraction, this top number is your whole number. It's what you start with, and you take away a part, and then you're left with another part. And these are the two parts. So for kids, I get them to visualize first, where does this number go? And they need to know that it goes up here, so maybe that's the question mark. And then I have them imagine pulling down 3 of those, because they're going to take 3 from the whole and put them there. And then they do the same thing. They know if they start with a whole and they pull away 3, whatever is left would go down here. And in this problem, there were 4 left. So now we say, okay, so how do we find what the whole is? Just like for the addition, we slide it back up, and they figure out that the whole is 7. Subtraction problem where the missing part is down here. Again, we always start by asking, okay, well, what is this number? Where does it go on the whole part mat, and why? And 6 is the whole, because when you're doing subtraction, the whole is what we start with. So they would start by putting 6 in the whole. And now we don't know how much to pull away from it, but we know that when we're done, we're going to be left with 2. So 2 is going to be one of those parts. So they slide 2 down, and then that means that this was that other part. So what's confusing for kids is to realize that this is the other missing part. So the answer is 4. That we had 6, and again, I usually, especially if they're struggling, I start right back from the beginning. If we pull away 2, that means there's 4 left over. To look at is a missing add-in with an addition problem. And here we need to ask the kids, well, where is the whole? Because unlike subtraction, the whole isn't what you start with. In addition, the whole is what you end with. So this is the tricky part. So again, if they know that this is the whole, they would start by putting 5 up here. Now, they started with 5, so they're going to think, okay, well, part of that was a 3. So now they're going to take and pull 3 down, which means this was our other part. So that's how you use a whole part mat. Not all kids find this difficult, but if they do, I'm including in this email a PDF with a whole part mat that you can print out. You don't need chips. Boy, you can use raisins, you can use dried beans, marshmallows. You could use whatever you want for the manipulatives. The biggest thing for the kids to learn is where is the whole. And for addition, it's down below. And for subtraction, it's up top. And then also seeing it written like this as well can be another tricky way. Kids don't always connect the two. That, okay, this is subtraction, so this is my whole. The last thing that I'll say is that eventually the kids will need the whole part mat. They'll realize that in order to solve a problem like this, you simply add these two numbers. But before they can get to that point, they really do need to see it and build that understanding in their head that these two parts come together to make the whole. But really, this is just a fact family, that 2 plus 7 equals 9, so 9 minus 2 equals 7. So it all connects. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful when you're working with your kid at home. My suggestion is, if they are struggling, don't try to make this mastered in one night. Spend 3 to 5 minutes and then let it go. Bring it back the next day, another 3 to 5 minutes. I think you'll find that after 2 or 3 days, it will become easier for your child.